Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Monday. Okay, we are live. Headphones are plugged in, and we are ready to rock and roll today. Welcome to the Business Breakthrough with Barbara show. As we do every Monday, we have another amazing episode coming your way where you are going to learn something super important that's going to help you in your journey of growing your business. For those of you who are new into the group, we are growing this group so fast, so quickly. It's amazing. I adore all of you, new members, old members, everyone that shows up live, everyone that watches the replays. You guys are amazing. You make the land of new coaches what it is. So thank you for being here. So if this is your first time watching this show, we go live every Monday at 10 a.m. and we do an episode of the Business Breakthrough with Barbara show where I talk all things strategy, confidence, and intuition to help you grow a profitable and wildly fulfilling coaching business. Okay? That's pretty much it. So, what we're going to talk about today is how to not let life get in the way of your business and success. Now, this is like a universal thing. Every entrepreneur must listen to this because here's the thing. Life is life. Life is going to happen. Things are going to get in the way. You're going to have days where you're like emotionally capped. You're going to have days where really intense things are happening. And it could be really light things, right? Like you woke up late or someone that you really care about passed away. But things are going to happen, and we need to learn how to navigate that so that our business can stay afloat and thrive, even in the times where we're not as available to show up fully and hustle. Okay? So if you are here live, drop me an emoji. Let me know that you're here. What I'm going to do this week, I said I was going to do this before, but I'm going to start doing it again. What I'm going to do this week is for all of you who drop me an emoji, I'm going to pick one of you to get a free one-on-one coaching session. Okay. So if you've been wanting a little bit of support and guidance and someone to tell you how to navigate, how to start, how to scale your online coaching business, someone who's been in the industry for 6+ years and has helped dozens of clients start, grow, and scale profitable coaching businesses like myself, drop an emoji because I'm going to pick a winner to get a free one-on-one coaching session with me. Okay. Um, the more emojis you drop as I do the live stream and the show, the more chances you have to win. Okay. Okay. So let's dive right in. I have a few notes so I don't forget. I'm actually going on vacation today, so I'm like in the middle of getting ready, getting everything settled. So my mind is like super scattered, which is why notes are going to be my lifesaver. Okay. So when life gets in the way, it's really like, okay, so let me start with this anecdote. So, a lot of coaches preach the hustle mentality, right? Like work, do, hustle, and that's how you get results. That's how you get clients. And that's great and amazing. And it's not that I'm entirely against like putting in an extreme amount of work when it's necessary, but that only works for so long because when life gets in the way, the hustle no longer works because you don't have the space, the time, the capacity, the emotional stability to hustle. Like one of my coaches actually got a divorce a few years ago. And one of the things she always talks about is like, when I got a divorce, that really showed me how much I could actually show up for my business when life got hard, right? Like how much capacity I actually had to show up and how I could still achieve results while I was going through a difficult time. So if you're the type of person who's like, I'm just gonna work, great. You may see some amazing results. You may grow really fast. I'm not saying that that doesn't work, but I'm just saying that at a certain point, you're either going to burn out or life is going to like destabilize itself for a little bit and you're not going to know what to do. Which is why my tip number one for today is we need to have in our business systems, structure, and organization. Okay. Obviously, this comes with time and implementing strategies and knowing how your business operations work. But when you have structure in your business, it's kind of like you have like a path card, right? Like, on Mondays you do this. You know that if you get a new client, this is how they get onboarded. You know how long it takes you to do a live stream. You know how long it takes you to plan a live stream. You know what times of the week you use to um, organize your marketing content, or what times of the day you use to do follow-ups and reach outs, right? Like, when you have systems and structures and life gets in the way, what that helps you do is, like, you don't go in decision fatigue. Okay. By the way, hi everyone. Okay, we got Teresa. Hi, drop an emoji. If you are just getting here, drop an emoji if you want to enter for a chance to win a one-on-one coaching session with me. The more emojis you drop, the more chances that you get. Julie, welcome. Good morning, Pascal, and good morning, Talina. Love having you ladies here. Okay, so what having structure in your business does is, all right, so let's say it's a simple thing. Let's say it's nothing major. Let's say it's not like a time where you're grieving or a move or a divorce. Let's just say it's something simple. Let's say the next week your kid's starting school. Okay. And let's say the next week it's busier than usual. What typically would happen if you don't have systems and structure and organization is school will start, you will feel overwhelmed, your schedule will change, you will have less time, you will have less capacity, and then your business will get put to the back burner, right? Because not only are you already stressed out with this new routine that you're adding into your life and getting used to, and getting your kid used to it as well, but you also don't have a structure to follow. So the thinking of, like, what should I be doing for my business? What should I be showing up for? What's the thing that I need to work on? What's the thing that's missing? Like, when you don't have structure there, decision fatigue hits, like, it's the first thing that hits when life gets in the way. Right? So you are so tired from making decisions, right? Like, what am I going to make my kid for breakfast for school? What time am I going to leave to pick him up? What is he going to wear? How am I going to get him to be safe in this new environment? Like, you're already making a lot of decisions and you're already thinking about a lot of things when life kind of like gets in the way. And then on top of that, if you have to be thinking about what you need to be doing for your business, it's tiring. Like, there's only so much mental capacity that you have. So when you have a system where you're like, okay, cool, this is how it works. Sundays, I sit down, I write my content for 2 hours. Mondays, I focus on follow-ups. Tuesdays, I do my live streams. Wednesdays, I write my, I write my emails. Thursday, I apply for podcasts. On Friday, I sign on any new clients and I get them through my onboarding process. Okay. And then Saturday, I check in with my team and I make sure that all of the things that I create are working properly. This is just like a vague example. Everyone's business is going to look different. What happens on Monday, it's like you're not sitting there like twiddling your thumbs and being like, okay, what are we doing today? What am I working on? What's the next thing that I need to do to get a client? What's the next thing that I need to do to work my business? You don't have time for that. So you're just like, Monday, write content. I have 2 hours. I'm going to do this between this time frame and this time frame. I'm going to sit down and get it done. So your business is no longer struggling. Like, your business is no longer struggling because you're not overthinking what you need to do when things get a little harder. Okay? Is this making sense so far? And is this resonating? So that's me. Work is my escape, but burnout is real. Yes. So normal. Like, so many of my clients and so many people here have experienced that. I've experienced that myself, where it's like work, and then we burn out and then we back off, right? So it's like very, very difficult to stay consistent long term because it's not sustainable. So when you create structures and strategies and you organize, like, even if you go deeper into, so in the example I gave before, I said Fridays you onboard new clients, whatever, just an example. Even if you have a system there where you're like, okay, once I get a client, these are the steps that I follow. I craft their contract, I send their contract. Once they sign their contract, I hand them over to my VA, or I send them their welcome packet or whatever, just so you don't have to think like, oh my God, I got a new client. Or, oh my God, I booked a call. What happens if they say yes? Like, you don't have to think. You just know, like, when this happens, I just need to follow this list. There's no thought required. There's no decision fatigue. There's really like no extra work that you're giving yourself by not having that system to follow. Okay. So 100% perfect. Yes, it's resonating. Sorry, I couldn't find the stream on my group page. Oh, don't worry. It's okay. You can always watch the replay if you hop on late. Totally making sense. You're speaking my life. Oh, I love that. Okay, good. So, okay, so now we have systems, structures. But here's what's going to happen. There's going to be times where life gets in the way and you literally have less time, right? So systems and structures are really good for when you have less capacity. So you have less emotional capacity, you have less thought capacity, like the time is there, right? Like you can work around the time, but you just don't have the capacity to think about what you're going to do. But what happens when life gets in the way and you really have less time? And you're like, no, like I literally do not have enough time to do the things that I typically do. How do you stay consistent in your business? How do you keep showing up? How do you keep attracting clients even when life gets hard? This is the next step. We have to 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, have negotiables and non negotiables. Okay? Such a simple concept, but also such a powerful one for when things are not perfectly aligned, right? Like, I'm sure some of you have experienced this where you have a month where you're like, I am on fire. Like, I literally show up every day. Things are perfect, beautiful. I'm getting engagement. I'm getting on calls. I booked a client last week. I'm feeling good. I'm having energy. I'm working out. I'm eating healthy. Like, I'm sure you have those weeks, right? That's when things are good. You're rumbling. Things are working. But then when you have a week where it's like, oh my God, I fought every night with my husband, or oh my God, family members are staying over and they're coming into town, everything gets shaken. And here's what I want you to do is just accept the fact that that's going to happen. If you're sitting there thinking like, why is this happening to me? This is the reason why I can't work on things. I promise you that that's not going to help you. But if you sit there and you embrace the fact that it's like, every entrepreneur also has a life and they also have struggles and they also have family come and stay with them and they also have fights with their husband and they also have days where they wake up and they feel anxious and they feel anxious and depressed or overwhelmed or sad or stressed or they're grieving something. Like every entrepreneur is a human being, no matter what people tell you. I don't care how much mindset work you do. I don't care how much confidence work you do. I don't care how many coaches you work with. You're a human being and you're living a human experience. So things like that are going to happen. So when you can embrace that they're going to happen, you prepare for them and you surrender to them. You accept them. And instead of like fighting against it, you work your way around it so you can still get fully booked out while those things are happening. Okay. Let's see. Days like today, even if I have the plan and I know what I have to do, my brain is full of crap. Okay, I keep a calendar for everything. Yes, Donna, literally calendaring in everything is the number one thing I do with my clients. Number one thing. Like no white space, making sure that everything is scheduled and that we know how much time we have, even if it's knowing how much free time we have. Julie, I'll come back to that comment a little bit later. So I can kind of like finalize this and then I'll come back to like what to do when days, like some days you just don't feel like it. Actually, that's going to tie into my next and last tip for today. Okay. So negotiables and non-negotiables. Second tip is there are things in your business that really, really, really matter. And then there are things that don't, right? Like they do, but not as much. So spending 2 hours creating a banner for your Facebook group doesn't really matter, right? Like just write the name, put a picture of yourself, put it up, and you can change it later. It's not a non-negotiable task, right? Like updating your About Me page, totally negotiable, right? Like not necessary, it's not something that's gonna get you a client or that's gonna help you make a sale. It's not. Let's see. What else? Let me give you an example of like things that are totally negotiable. Downloading, this is just random things like downloading your weekly show and editing it or uploading it to YouTube, it's negotiable, right? Like it's not necessary, especially if YouTube is not your number one platform, right? Like those are things that I do on a week to week basis, right? Like I download this show. Well, now I have my team do it, but technically I used to download my show and then I used to create a thumbnail and then I used to upload it to YouTube, even though I have like 36 subscribers, right? Like it's not it's a negotiable task. It doesn't really matter. So if life gets in the way, I don't really care about uploading my video. If life gets in the way, if I'm going through a tough week, I really don't care about updating my copy. If life gets in the way and I really don't have a lot of time, I don't really care about creating new graphics for next week, right? Like I'll just use all graphics or all pictures. Like who cares? Totally negotiable. Then you have non-negotiables, which is following up with leads that you have, following up with calls that you've had, trying to get people on the phone, making sure that you're promoting yourself and your services, making sure that you're creating content, making sure that you're staying active in your email list. Like obviously this is going to depend as to like what your business model is and what your day-to-day looks like your client generating strategy, your sales process. Like it's going to be different for everyone, but you need to separate like what are the important things that actually make a difference in my business and in my income, and what are the ones that are not, that I think that they're super important but they're not. So when you come to the time where you really have less time, you drop the negotiables. They're negotiables. You negotiate with them this week and you're like, you know what? You're off for this week. I'll come back to you next week or I'll come back to you next month. You are really not necessary. With or without you, I can still make sales. I can still make money. I can still get clients. So I'm going to focus on the non-negotiables, right? Which are the things that get your business out there: visibility, content, marketing, sales calls. Those are the things that truly, truly matter. So if you need to like narrow down, like tip number 2 is about narrowing down your business to like what are the most basic foundations that you need in order to grow and make sales even when you're going through a difficult time. Okay? Does this make sense? Tell me one negotiable that you have and one non-negotiable that you have. Okay? I want to see if you guys can start like pinpointing the difference. So this leads me to like a little side note, which is, I mean, a lot of you are new coaches here, so you may not be at the stage, but if you've been a coach for a while and you have a team member, a VA, or whatever, a whole team, this is a really good time to delegate a little bit more, right? So if you don't want to fully drop the non-negotiables, the negotiables, you can go ahead and delegate to your VA if it's something that fits your budget and your operations. And you can even delegate some of the non-negotiables to them too, right? So like when life gets really hard and it gets in the way, it's a really good moment for expansion. It's kind of like when we're forced into figuring out innovative ideas to have our business operate while we're not fully functioning and operating because of X reason that we may be experiencing. Okay. Now, third, I wouldn't say most important, but extremely important thing that I want to say today. Let me read comments first. I keep a calendar for everything. I rearrange a calendar when necessary, but that calendar is my Bible. Yes. Actually, maybe I'll do a show one day showing you how I schedule my calendar. If that's something that you guys are interested in, let me know in the comments. But yeah, my calendar is like my life. Okay. I cannot function without my calendar. The days where I don't plan my day, I literally wake up and I just like roam around and do nothing. Which is okay sometimes, right? But like you just know your tendencies. And once you get into calendaring and you make it work in a way that works for you, honestly, life and business just gets so much easier. I feel the perfectionism piece sneaking in there, knowing what's negotiable and non-negotiable. Good. That's why I asked to give me a negotiable and non-negotiable to make sure that you guys got that. To me, also means knowing that done is better than perfect. 100%. I love that you added that like anecdote there. Done is better than perfect when life gets in the way. And let me just simplify the negotiables and non-negotiables for you guys a little bit more. Non-negotiables are tasks that make you sales. are tasks that get you in front of your ideal clients, and they are tasks that make your business visible. Okay, so for example, let me give you an idea. Creating a new freebie, negotiable, because that freebie itself, it's really not going to get you the client, right? It's you marketing that freebie. It's you putting it out there. It's you setting up that ad. It's you inviting people into it. It's you creating a funnel after the freebie, right? Like that is the non-negotiable stuff, right? Like creating a new program, negotiable. If you already have one, it's totally negotiable. Um, negotiables are usually tied to creation, right? Like brand new creation of things, graphics, website copy, freebies, banners, social media graphics if you already have some, one-on-one programs if you already have one. Like that's negotiable. And those are things that you could be like, okay, look, even though I do want to create a new freebie, and even though I feel like eventually in the future it could be a good funnel strategy, right now it's a time where I have less capacity and it's a time where I have less time. And therefore, I'm gonna leave my negotiables to the side, focus on my non-negotiables, and get the business going while this is happening so that when I do have more capacity, I can come back to them. Non-negotiables are usually things like marketing, visibility, promoting calls, promoting your programs, writing content that includes sales content, things that are going to expand your reach, right? Like applying, if podcasting is a really big piece of your business, like applying to podcasts. If you are growing your email list through summits, right? Like making sure that you're finding summits. Like those are marketing pieces that are part of your sales process. Pretty much anything that's part of your sales process, that's non-negotiable. Okay. Obviously, this is hard when you don't know what your sales process looks like. So if you're having trouble kind of like pinpointing that at this point, it's probably because we need to create you a good old sales process that you can replicate over and over again. Because once you know this is my sales process, this is what I do from point A to point Z, then it's like not even a question. It's just like, okay, these are the non-negotiables. This is what I follow. This is how I make sales. This is how I get people on the phone. This is what my business literally operates on. Okay, did that kind of give you a little bit more clarity there? If not, let me know and I'll go even deeper if I can. But in the meantime, let's go to tip number 3, which, Julie, this kind of like goes back to what you were saying, where it's like, okay, so you plan, you have negotiables, you have non-negotiables, but then some days your mind is just not there at all, like at all. So there's 2 things here. Number 1, I always tell my clients when you have a day like that, I want you to do the smallest, tiniest task that you can think of and see if you can do more from there. And if not, at least you did something small. So meaning, let's say you have a really bad day and you're like all worked up and whatever, you have problems at home that day. And then on top of that, you're feeling like super motivated in your business. So what's like the tiniest non-negotiable task that you can do that day? Okay. And that could literally be copying and pasting a sales post into your group. Or that could literally be like scheduling that newsletter that is promoting your new program, right? Like a 5-minute task where you could just be like, look, I'm not feeling it, but I'm committed to my business. So I'm just going to completely ignore everything that's going on. I'm going to sit down for 5 minutes and do something. After you do that, a lot of times you feel a little bit more empowered and you get out of your head because you got into action. And you may want to do something else and something else and something else. And then you get yourself in the role of actually taking action. But even if you're like, okay, cool, I did that, that's enough, at least you feel like you did something, right? And then you don't go into like a cycle of like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't do anything today. And I let my thoughts get in the way and I let myself not show up for my business today. And then tomorrow I'm going to be all backed up and I can't believe I didn't do one thing for my business. You can instead, at the end of the day, say like, you know what? I had a really crappy day, but I did that one thing. I'm very proud of myself. Tomorrow will be another day and I'm back to it. Okay. So that's the first thing I suggest. Pick the tiniest non-negotiable task that you can do if you're having a really bad time where you're like really stuck in your head and do that, most of the time that will motivate you to do something else, right? Because you're out of your head and you're actually taking action. But let's say you can't even get yourself to do that tiny task, like you're just having a bad day, then guys, your number one, your number one non negotiable will always and forever be confidence slash mindset work. That is like the number one thing that it's like, if you can work around anything to do, I want it to be that. Okay. So if you're having a really bad day and you're just like, I can strategically, I just can't show up for my business, then I want you to sit down for 15 minutes and whatever mindset routine you have or confidence routine that you have, I want you to do that. So if you have journaling prompts that you follow, I want you to do that. If part of your mindset routine is checking in with your coach and processing, I want you to go ahead and reach out to your coach. If something that gets you into the right confidence and the right feeling and energy and emotion is to meditate and clear your mind, I want you to go and focus on that. Okay? Because here's the thing, if you're having a really bad day and you're letting thoughts get in the way and you can't really take action, the only thing that's going to get you out of that, it's like obviously time, but what's going to accelerate that, it's processing that, it's letting it out, it's shifting the way that you're thinking, it's really going into the internal piece of business. So this is always and forever going to be your number one non-negotiable in your business. If you cannot do anything all week and you can only do one thing for 15 minutes, I want it to be your mindset slash confidence work. Because here's what's going to happen. That's going to get you in a stage where you feel better, you're thinking better, you're believing more, you're feeling good, you're feeling motivated. So let's say you have a really bad week. Because you've been doing mindset work every day, next Monday, you're going to be like, okay, cool, I'm good to go, let's go. If you're not doing anything at all, you're not even doing the mindset work and the confidence work, a week will go by, and what you're going to do is you're going to go into a beating yourself up hole, right? Like, oh my God, it's been 7 days and I haven't done anything. My business is not going to work. I'm not going to get the clients. And then you're just going to kind of like fall into that cycle of like not taking action, beating yourself up, not taking action, beating yourself up, feeling like you're overwhelmed, feeling like you don't know what to do, all because we didn't take the time to do 15 minutes of confidence work, right? And again, just kind of like the systems and the strategies and the negotiables and the non-negotiables, this is going to look different for everyone, right? Like some of my clients hate journaling. Some of my clients don't even know what to journal, right? So we have to create specific plans for each of them. Some of my clients hate meditation. So we have to do some tapping, or we just have to literally do day-to-day processing of whatever they're experiencing through Slack. Like it really varies from person to person, but that's why that sales process, having that sales process in your business and having that confidence routine or mindset routine is super important, because again, it takes away from the what should I be doing thing, which is really hard to think about when you're already overwhelmed with life. Okay, I have one more thing to say. Exactly, beating myself up is automatism. I think I'm saying that right, maybe. I think so. When I cannot calm down. Okay, yeah, so that's what happens. Like if you don't take the time to work through whatever you're working through, then you beat yourself up, and then it's a snowball. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it's harder to break it and untangle it. Okay, and this could be even processing whatever's happening in life too, right? Like if you're like ignoring it, like I remember, I think it was 2018, one of my dogs suddenly passed away, completely unexpected, like one of the biggest shocks ever. And I was in the middle of one of my biggest launches, which is Overlook to Fully Book, which is my yearly group coaching program. And that was such a hard time. And honestly, the only way that I was able to show up for that launch and still sell enough spots and actually like beat the goals that I had was because every day what I was doing is I was processing with my coach how I was feeling. And I was literally processing my feelings and emotions on a day-to-day basis. So if I had to cry, if I had to journal, if I had to go for a walk, if I had to laugh, if I had to go out with friends, even if it pushed back emails that I had to write, I was processing that, and it really helped me continue to show up. Okay, so I hope that example helps you kind of like relate and see like it's so important to process what's going on internally and in your life. Okay, so last thing, guys, sometimes it's okay to take a day off. I said it. And that's really hard for people like me who we are like type A workaholics. Pascal, I know you probably relate to this saying like, it's okay for me to take the day off. Like, that's probably a hard sentence for you to process and stand behind. Trust me, I struggle with this for so long because there, especially when you're starting out, like you feel like you always have to be in your business. But sometimes taking a day off will actually help you recharge and come back with so much more energy and come back with so many more ideas and come back with so much more motivation, right? So, like, it's okay, right? Like, if you wake up and you're like, today literally sucks, it's been the worst day I've had all year, and your intuition is telling you, like, you know what, I just want a nap, drink a glass of wine at the end of the night, watch me some Netflix, go for a walk, spend some time with my kids, and just literally, I don't have any desire to do this. It's okay to take a day off. Like, it's fine. You have full permission to do so. If you're feeling sick, if like you're a human. Like, it's so important to remember the human experience when you're in business. The more that you can just embrace, like, I'm a human and this looks imperfect. And like Pascal said before, done is better than perfect, right? Like, even if you do this in an imperfect way, which by the way, there's no such thing as perfection. I literally thought that when I hired a website strategist and a brand designer, and I had my dream brand, like my website would never have to be touched again, right? So not true. As soon as I hired that person and they handed over the website, I thought it could be even more perfect, right? Like, I thought there could be things that could be changed. So, like, for us perfectionists, there will always be something else that we can change. So, done is better than perfect. It's okay to take a day off. Mindset work is your number one non-negotiable. Non-negotiables are your sales process activities that help you make sales and continue to get clients even when life gets hard. Negotiables usually revolve around creation and things that are not profit driven. And the more system structures and organization that you have in your business, the easier it's going to be to navigate the ups and downs of being a human being. So, how does that feel, guys? Does this help? Which step are you guys planning on taking first? Like, which is the thing that resonated with you the most? Is it like, oh my God, I need to just give myself permission to take a day off? Or like, oh my God, I just need to do a little bit more mindset work on a day-to-day basis? Or like, I literally have no systems in my business. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing half of the time. Like, what is the thing that you feel like you need to focus on the most so that your business can consistently generate an income and make clients regardless of what's happening in your personal life? Okay, hope this helps. I'm going to go get ready because I'm about to leave for vacation. You guys will see a ton of pictures soon, but yeah, obviously I'll be here next Monday, but I'm just super, super, super excited. I'm very happy that I was able to come in here live, even if it was with my undone hair and almost no makeup face. I love, love, love being here with you guys. For those of you who are watching the replay, and for those of you who are here and would like to apply, drop me an emoji. If you want a chance to win a one-on-one coaching session with me, I will be doing this every week because I love, love, love offering so much support to you guys. If you've been wanting to work long-term with myself or a business coach, this is your opportunity to take a look at Rise Up and at the sales page and book a discovery call or message me if you want to get on the wait list. Right now, it's actually booked out, which is an amazing thing to have and to experience, but definitely booking spots for the future. So for those of you who have been interested, go take a peek, let me know, and we'll talk next Monday. And I'll see you in the group as always. And if you're watching the replay and if you have questions, remember I always come back and answer to your comments. So make sure that you ask the questions. Make sure that you tell me what you think and what you feel and what you need more explanation on, because I am here for you. So systems, so that I will be on my automatism instead of beating myself up. I feel you, Julie. Okay, love that. Love that, love that. Systems is, that's why I started there, because it's honestly one of the most important things. They're all equally important, but it's like it's the foundation of everything else. Like without systems, we can't really operate our negotiables and non-negotiables. Without systems, we can't really take care of ourselves. Without systems, we can't really know when mindset work goes into our day and all of that good stuff. And enjoy your vacay. Thank you guys. I will share pictures and I will see you next Monday. Set an alarm, set a reminder. Have an amazing start to your week, and I will be chatting with you guys through the group. Bye, everyone. Thank you for being here.